And I'm going to, and soon.
How soon?
Yesterday.
Nobody realized the biggest joke in Green Acres was never on the people in Hooterville. For 6 years, the show kept hiding the same impossible clue in plain sight, and almost nobody questioned it. Why was the only sane man the only one who couldn't hear the music?
Mr. Haney never did.
Yes, and did Mr. Haney ever make any money on this farm?
Not until you came along and bought it.
Why did the show's strangest jokes keep repeating the same pattern? Why did millions of viewers accept things that made no sense? And why did even CBS misunderstand the show just as completely? The answers all begin with one man, climbing a telephone pole.
Today we're going to learn a new word, porcupine. It has nothing to do with you, Arnold. It isn't that kind of pork.
The man who wanted the world to make sense.
What's that?
An egg.
A square egg?
Start with the setup because the whole joke is buried in it. A successful New York lawyer named Oliver Wendell Douglas has a dream. Not money, not fame, something simpler. He wants to walk away from the noise of the city, buy a farm, and live a plain, honest, rational life.
You didn't happen to hear that chicken might be very valuable, did you?
Now, who told you that? Perky's turkey?
Mr. Kimball.
No, that's just...
Get back to what's real. You know this dream. Maybe you've had it. So he buys the farm, and the show punishes him for it immediately. His telephone is mounted at the top of a pole in the yard.
Well, how are you, Mr. Douglas?
Fine, just fine. Lisa, this is Mr. Haney. He's the man who sold me the farm.
Why, Mr. Haney, how?
Well, now, wait a minute, Mr. Douglas. Your husband was...
To make a call, Oliver has to climb it in a three-piece suit.
You've run one before?
See?
You speak English?
See, I talk a bunch of English.
He falls off. He climbs again. The farmhouse is falling down around him. Nothing works. Nobody makes sense. And you laughed. But keep your eye on that pole. A man in a good suit climbing it just to make one sensible phone call in a place that has no intention of being sensible.
I just want to know what it looks like.
My husband just wants to know what it looks like.
It's kind of round and it's got lines on it.
It's round with lines on it.
That's the test pattern.
The show would put Oliver in that exact position, reaching for something reasonable, looking ridiculous doing it, 100 different ways over 6 years. That image would keep coming back in different forms for the next 6 years.
That's where you're going to live.
And it had only started. The next test was stranger. How much would you swallow? Now the show does something sneaky. It starts turning up the dial, slowly, to see when you'll flinch.
Mr. Haney used to say there was big money in it.
Oh, did Miss Bradley go?
Yes, wasn't that nice of her to bring over all those things?
A hen lays a perfectly square egg. A toaster pops up whenever somebody says the word 5. Not when you push it down, when you say it. Nobody in Hooterville blinks. Nobody explains it. Nobody ever fixes it.
The old cannonball's running pretty smooth today. Rides pretty good since we fixed the track.
Then why is it bumping so?
Well, we ain't fixed the wheel.
And here's the part that matters. Neither did you. You didn't turn it off. You didn't demand an answer. Episode after episode, the show handed you something that broke your own logic. And episode after episode, you let it. Somewhere in there, without ever deciding to, you started accepting Hooterville's rules over your own. And that's the part that should sit a little wrong.
Chocolate roof, mocha walls, and a vanilla fence.
Now make a wish and blow out the candle.
Not that the egg was square, that you accepted it, no questions, no resistance, and barely noticed you had.
I wonder if you'd like a cheese omelet. I should have listened to Mother and stayed in New York.
It almost feels as though the show was measuring something. Whether the writers meant it or not, Green Acres kept finding out how quickly you'd adapt to its nonsense, and it never once had to ask.
Get her to show you how they shoot the machine guns through the propeller.
Leave that open. Whatever was happening, it wasn't finished. Next, it turned to the one thing you trusted most, the people who were supposed to be in charge. The man from the government. Every week, a county agent comes by the Douglas farm. His name is Hank Kimball, and he is, on paper, the expert, the official, the man the government sends to help.
Mr. Kimball!
Oh, there you are. I was looking for you in the other room.
How are you, Mr. Kimball?
Watch him try to say a single complete sentence. He starts a thought, corrects it, then corrects the correction, and wanders off having told you nothing at all. Every week, a man saying absolutely nothing with total confidence. It's hilarious, and it should feel just a little familiar.
Mr. Kimball,
Hi, Mr. Douglas. I'd like to introduce Mr. Dr. Livermore. Oh, how do you do, Doctor? I'm Hank Kimball.
You've met Hank Kimball, maybe this week. The form that contradicts the other form. The office that transfers you to the office that transferred you. The voice on the phone that's very sorry, but rules are rules. So here's the strange part. You laughed at him anyway. The same way you laugh at the things you gave up fighting years ago.
Mr. Douglas, you ought to get yourself a good lawyer and sue him. Now, there's Will Hoyt up in Pixley.
I am a lawyer, and I can handle Mr. Haney.
He sold you the place, didn't he?
Yes?
But notice what the show let you get away with. It let you laugh at the bureaucrat and walk off comfortable. And that comfort is the tell.
And gentlemen, the Hooterville community players are proud to present their version of that famous TV show, The Beverly Hillbillies.
Because if Green Acres was really this sharp about the world, then the man from the government was never the thing it was actually aiming at. So who was? The show that knew it was a show. Now the show does something that gets stranger the longer you look at it. The characters knew they were on television. Not in a wink, not in a special episode, as a casual fact of life. The people of Hooterville would sit around and talk about other CBS shows, the Beverly Hillbillies, as programs they watched.
Eleanor doesn't like squirting into these. She's used to that ping-ping of a galvanized pail.
At one point, the local playhouse puts on a stage version of a Beverly Hillbillies episode. They crack jokes about the men who actually produce their own show. Think about how strange that is. A fictional character inside a fictional town watching the network that airs him.
The county and the state. I now pronounce you... Oh, good morning, Mrs. Douglas. Mr. Douglas.
Every other sitcom worked overtime to make you forget you were watching a manufactured thing on a soundstage. Green Acres did the opposite. It kept quietly reminding you, none of this is real, and we all know it, and so should you. Most shows treated the screen like a window. Green Acres treated it like a screen and tapped on the glass.
I'm looking for Ed Ferguson. He's got my hammer. Hi, Jack. Hey, you got my hammer? Yeah, I'll bring it down.
But knowing you're on television is only half of it. The scarier question is the next one. Did the show know about the person on the other side of the screen? Did it know about you? They could read the credits. This next one is just plain funny. Until it isn't. In Green Acres, the characters could read the words on the screen, the opening credits, the floating text that every other show assumed you'd ignore.
The number of plugs doesn't make the difference. It's the number on the plugs that makes the difference.
Oh,
I thought I explained that to you.
you did?
Lisa is making breakfast, and the writer's name is sitting there on her rubbery hotcakes. The hens lay eggs with the director's credit printed on the shells. In one episode, the characters are in the middle of an argument when they notice the credits have started rolling, so they simply stop, sit down, and wait for the credits to finish, because nobody's paying attention to them anyway.
He's a nice fella. Folks around here sure like him.
Then why did they let him buy that horrible farm?
The Haney place? Oh, it's not so bad.
Read that again. They waited for their own credits to end. There's even a crueler detail. Sometimes Lisa can see the credits and Oliver can't. She points at the writing. He looks. It's gone. He thinks she's losing her mind.
$6?
$6?
I had to raise my rate.
Now think about what that gag actually requires. For it to land, the show has to know something about you, that you never look at the credits, that you let a chunk of every episode slide right past you. You cannot build that joke unless you know exactly how the person at home fails to pay attention.
Lisa?
Yes, Mother.
What are you doing out there?
Talking.
Oh, Lisa, you've got to get out of this termite trap before it's...
That's the escalation. The joke only works if the writers knew exactly how the person at home watches television, that you half watch, that you let the credits wash past. They didn't just understand their show, they understood you. So a show that knew you weren't really watching had one move left. What would it do to prove, right to your face, how easily it could reach in and steer you?
Mr. Douglas, Sarah sent me out from the Hooterville phone company. Got your phone.
Our phone! Oh, Lisa! Lisa!
What's the matter, darling?
Our phone is here!
It turns out it had already done it, every single week, with the music. And that's where the laughing stops. the music only they could hear. Remember the sound from the very start of this? The one the whole town could hear and one man couldn't? Here it is, and it's eerier than it sounds.
You should have done it that way before you ruined the tractor.
That's what I said.
I know what you said.
But he said the same thing.
I don't.
Every so often, Oliver plants his feet, gets a faraway look, and launches into one of his speeches about the nobility of the American farmer, the dignity of working the land, the backbone of this great nation. And right on cue, out of nowhere, a fife starts playing Yankee Doodle. Stirring, patriotic, the exact kind of music every TV show uses to tell you how to feel.
Go away, you nasty beast, or I'll give your name to my butcher.
Lisa, you know what that bull is saying to his girlfriend?
Here's the detail that turns the whole thing inside out. Everyone on screen can hear it. The farmhands stop and look around. Lisa hears it. The whole town hears that fife swell up and rolls their eyes at Oliver for it. Everyone except Oliver. He can't hear a note. He keeps talking, lost in his speech, while the whole town hears the music and laughs at him. I'm going to leave this one unexplained, on purpose.
Good morning.
Oh, good morning, Mr. Haley. How do you pronounce PH?
Father.
Oliver is the only person who cannot hear the music. Hold on to that, whatever else the show throws at you from here. The pig, the drafts, the wife who speaks in riddles.
What I was talking about! I don't remember all of it, but I'm sure the chief made a tape recording.
Then follow me, because the show's next targets weren't eggs or music, they were people, starting with a pig. The pig you accepted as a person. You already know Arnold, the pig the whole town raises as a boy, school, television, the works.
They got Green Acres started, and they call me for a pig for Green Acres. Baby buggy.
By now, that barely registers, and that's exactly the problem.
Arnold's doing the shopping for Fred while Doris is away.
Because forget the pig for a second and look at what happened to you. The first time you saw a pig treated like a child, something in you pushed back. That's a pig. You sat there next to Oliver agreeing with him. By the fifth time, you didn't push back at all. You'd stopped noticing. The show put an impossible thing on screen with a straight face week after week and revealed how quickly your objection disappeared.
In July?
Arnold, your tale was right. You're a millionaire again.
It didn't survive. And here's the proof it worked. Real people at home sent a pig fan mail. He won actual awards, the only member of the cast to win anything at all. Not because anyone forgot he was a pig, because the show had gently walked millions of viewers into treating him like a boy.
All right, now what are you kids doing here?
As president of the school board, we want you to get Arnold back in our class.
Well, I just talked to your principal and he doesn't want to reinstate Arnold.
You should have leaned on him.
You didn't laugh at how gullible the town was, you joined it. And the one episode that pushed you the furthest had a second trap waiting, aimed even more squarely at you. The draft notice. In one episode, a draft notice arrives. For Arnold. The pig has been called to serve in the United States Army.
What about?
We're from the County Selective Service Board.
Oh, he got a letter from you.
Then why didn't he show up like he was supposed to?
So Oliver, the only sane man, remember, sets out to fix it. He stands in front of the draft board, the Army, and eventually the FBI, and he argues the one fact he's sure of. You cannot draft this soldier. This soldier is a pig. It takes everything he has, but he does it. He finally makes them understand. And the instant he wins, they draft Ralph Monroe.
I know all about the Army. I was in the last war.
On whose side? Now listen, Zippo.
No, Douglas is my...
Ralph is the town's carpenter, one half of the Monroe brother team. Ralph is also, plainly, a woman. And now Oliver has to turn right back around and argue the next obvious fact to the same officials, that Ralph can't be drafted either because Ralph is a woman.
Going to go to your ball.
Oh, that's a shame.
Who are you going with?
Well, I wouldn't go with anyone but Hanky Kimball.
Read that back slowly. A grown man spending his day convincing the United States government that a pig is a pig, and then that a woman is a woman, and nearly losing his mind doing it. Sit with it a second. Don't rush to the meaning, because once you stop laughing, notice who actually came apart in that story. Not the draft board, not the Army, not the FBI. They shrugged and moved on with their day. The officials were absurd.
Boy, I gotta go home and check her air valve. She's been getting bubbles in her headpiece.
But Oliver was the only one losing his mind. Why is it always him? The wrong person was the outsider. By now it might look like Green Acres was just celebrating nonsense for its own sake. It wasn't. Every flip so far has been aimed at something specific, and this next one goes after the assumption you'd least expect to lose.
Can you identify it?
No, I can't. But it's obvious. If my water stopped flowing at the very moment yours started, you've tapped my water supply.
On paper, Lisa Douglas is the one who should crack first. Think about everything stacked against her. A glamorous Hungarian socialite torn out of a Manhattan penthouse and dropped onto a collapsing farm she never wanted and never asked for. She can barely operate the English language, the mangled words, the hotsy-totsy, the sentences that land 3 inches sideways. She can't cook, she's never worked a day on any land, anywhere. Every rule of storytelling says this woman is about to spend 6 seasons drowning, the fish out of water, the pampered import who wilts the moment real life touches her. You know this character. You know exactly how her story is supposed to go. Except it doesn't go that way at all. She fits perfectly.
Darling, I forgot to tell you that Arnold can't sleep with the lights off.
Lisa glides through Hooterville. She out-haggles the conman Mr. Haney by raising her offer when he lowers his price and somehow wins. She takes the square eggs and the talking toaster logic in stride. She belongs there in a way her husband never will. And remember the credits Oliver couldn't see? Lisa sees them fine. That's the flip, and it's ruthless.
Mrs. Douglas sent me for a can of,
What, Em?
Uncle Joe will pick up the groceries later. Bye, Sam.
Bye.
You expected the foreign woman to be the one who couldn't cope. Instead, the longer Lisa stayed, the less foreign she looked, and the more foreign her perfectly American husband began to seem. Which brings us, at last, to Oliver, the fool who was always right. Let's be fair to Oliver Douglas. He is right about everything. He's right that the egg shouldn't be square. He's right that the county agent is talking nonsense. He's right that Arnold is a pig. He does, every single week, exactly what an intelligent, rational person is supposed to do. He looks at an insane world and insists it start making sense.
Lisa,
Yes, darling?
did you take my speech out of my pocket?
What speech?
And for 6 seasons, 170 episodes, the show treats the one sane man as the problem. Not the pig, not the toaster, not the man from the government who can't finish a sentence. Oliver. He's the punchline. He's the fool. The joke is always on the guy who wanted the world to be reasonable. And now pick up the thing I told you to keep safe. The one man who's right about everything is the only one who can't hear the music. That's the contradiction. How can the person with every fact straight be the fool of the whole town? How can the only one still tuned to reality be the one deaf to what everyone else can plainly hear? That's the piece that won't fit. It's the question you've been carrying since the very first minute, and until it fits, we haven't really understood this show at all. There's one last place to look, and it isn't in an episode, it's in a boardroom. The day they killed the show. Killed by people who didn't get it.
Take that up with him, will you?
No, not me. He always wants to tell me that stale, intriguing story about how he worked in the laundry.
Here's the last piece of evidence, and it's the one that closes the case, because this time, the person who missed the joke wasn't a character in Hooterville, it was the network airing the show. By 1971, Green Acres was still doing fine, still holding its time slot, still pulling a comfortable crowd every week. CBS canceled it anyway. It was part of a purge, a decision to wipe every rural-flavored show off the network in one swing, no matter the ratings. One of the show's own actors summed it up perfectly. The network, he said, canceled everything with a tree. So Green Acres was swept out with the rest, sorted by its surface. A farm, a pig, a country comedy, filed under rural and cleared off the schedule with all the other shows that had a tree in them. And there's the irony the series couldn't have written better itself. For 6 years, this show had been about the danger of judging a thing by how silly it looks. And in the end, that's exactly how it was judged. Read by its surface and thrown out for it. The same surface-level glance the whole documentary has been taking apart, made one last time by the people who aired it. The show's final joke landed in real life, and it was the best one it ever told. But it still leaves Oliver standing in his field, unable to hear a sound the entire world can hear. It's time to explain why. And the answer was hiding, in plain sight, in the very first thing he ever did. The joke was always you. So why couldn't Oliver hear the music? Sit with the answer. It's quieter than you'd expect.
Of all the stupid... Where are they?
They went over to Mr. Ziffel to do some work.
You can't hear the music when you're the one it's playing for. Everyone else in Hooterville stopped fighting the world long ago. They hear the whole absurd song and hum along. Oliver never stopped fighting, and that's the one thing that makes a man deaf to how funny the fight has become.
Mrs. Douglas gave it to me.
No wonder, it's full of holes.
Supposed to be.
Doris.
Now the telephone pole turns, a man in a good suit climbing it in the middle of a field just to make one reasonable phone call in a world that was never going to be reasonable. You laughed at him for climbing. You've been up that pole, on hold with the insurance company, explaining yourself to someone who will never make sense, certain that if you just say it clearly enough one more time, the world will finally add up. The music was playing over you the whole time. You just couldn't hear it either. So watch it again. Any episode, any night, and this time, listen for the music. You'll hear it now. Oliver never will.